Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we're going to discuss the 2022 horror film I Came By. Hour 50 minutes, written and directed by the same person whose name I completely forgot. I just read it, completely forgot it. Um, I had no expectations for this film. I didn't know what it was about. I knew nothing. The only thing I remember reading in like the synopsis was something about a graffiti artist discovers something, and I was like, sure. Didn't know the plot, didn't know the genre, didn't know nothing. This could have been a horror musical for all I knew, and it knew nothing. It was on my list of things you might like. I put it on. I liked the title. I came by. I was like, what the hell does that mean? Fine. So, story involves. Story changes a lot of time jumps too. Story involves Toby and Jay, who are best friends since kids. They grow up together, and they're graffiti artists. They're tattoo writers. Oh my goodness, they're spray paint writers. They say a term. I don't remember what the term is. Taggers is one of the other terms, but there's something about writing with the spray paint. I don't remember the term, and they target these elites, break into the houses, and just put the tag up. I came by. I mean, I came by your house because I could, and your security sucks. Stuff like that, right? Just like a big, screw you kind of a thing. So the story progresses. Jade does some housework at this ex-judge's house and like sends Toby the information, and then Toby breaks in to like spray paint because they have a little fight because Jay doesn't want to do it anymore because he's going to be a dad. They're both 23 years old, and Toby's not ready for his friend to take that next step in life, and he himself is still dealing with his father's death and all these other stuff. Like, first act was incredible build up of their story, and then Toby discovers that there's this guy being held captive for some reason in the basement, in a secret room in the basement of this judge's house, and he tries to save him, and it doesn't work. And that's it. That's all we see of Toby ever again. The second act comes about. It's now his mom who is trying to then find her son, and she's following clues and stuff of that nature. She confronts the judge. She herself is then tied up into the basement, and then witnesses another serial killer moment of this ex-judge, and then herself is thrown into a kiln. So it's just, each act is different. First act is Toby's act, second act is his mom's act, third act is Jay's act. And Jay is the main character throughout, but Jay then is trying to figure out how to get this done. Where are his friends? He lived with them for quite some time when his parents kicked him out. Like, this is his family. Where is his family? Why is nobody helping? And this judge is going to get a pass no matter what he does. This ex-judge is going to get a pass no matter what he does. He's friends with the chief of the police. He's friends with this person. He's friends with that person. Where's the justice in that, right? So he then himself takes it upon himself, break into the new house, because this judge moved at this point. Realizing then that this guy is still trapped in a different room, in a different section of the house. How do you then frame the judge? Or do you just beat the judge, put the tag on the wall, save the guy, anonymously call 911 or whatever it is in England? I don't actually know. And then escape before things happen. My problem with the way it ended is that I wanted to see justice. I wanted to see justice with this horrid serial killer doing terrible, terrible things and keeping this guy captive for all these years. I wanted to see justice. I wanted to know the complete backstory of why this guy was being tortured for all these years, why he couldn't get out, why anytime somebody was killed, they were thrown into the kiln, why his wife was sent away. All of these specific why answers were never answered in this. This is an hour and 50 long minutes. Those answers could have come. My problem with the ending is that it needed a justice moment. It didn't have to end with Jay driving into the sunset. We needed to see what happens with the judge, because he gets off in the beginning when he's brought in for questioning and nothing happens. We needed a closure moment. We didn't get a closure moment in this film. First act I loved. If the story just progressed on Jay and Toby's friendship, them doing this stuff, them together finding this serial killer, them together facing the serial killer, I think it would have been great. But I personally myself don't like that it was three separate stories in this film. Act one was Toby, Act two was Liz, his mom, Act three was Jay, saving the day. I think it was a little disjointed that way because there was a lot of time jumps in between everything. I think if we stayed along the path of the first act, it would have been much, much better than it is. That the acting was great. It was very disgusting. I was disgusted with this serial killer judge. So that part worked in regards to eliciting a reaction and an emotion from the audience. But I feel like the story would have been a lot better if we just focused more and stayed on that track of Jay and Toby, because we get a hardcore introduction of the two of them in the beginning, and then it just kind of Toby's just gone. I'm thinking to myself, why put so much time into this character and then they're just gone? And then his mom, why put so much time into this character and then she's just gone? I don't like when stuff is just abrupt because there's no closure to it. It's just strange in regards to storytelling. But on the flip side, maybe that's the point. When those are involved in these types of atrocious situations, sometimes there is no closure for families. So maybe that was the point of this. Maybe the writer and the director has some kind of background in this particular genre, on a personal note. So maybe that's why I'm just irked by this, because there is no closure. I guess that's the point, because there's no closure in these types of situations in real life. Okay, I solved it. I came by, great, great horror film, very disturbing horror film. On to the next review. Mucho mahalo.